Billy, what
So
is your
that's
frustration with the developer? What?
I have no frustration with the developer. My frustration is that he come back to this plan and all of a sudden by the time we're all said and done, we've been better off not to get the plan, I guess.
Yeah.
No, you gotta have something on paper, Billy, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just,
Yeah,
But
we,
he designed,
we had nothing to start with, and I think it's okay for us to have a critical eye to it, which applies to our community, so.
well, I mean, he's, like I say, he's the top in his field.
I think what we have to do more as a council and maybe committee or whatever, whoever's really overseeing this, is have some dates, goals set, and prioritize. I mean, we can't tackle the entire thing, I don't think, all at once. I don't think we have the money to do everything we want to do. But we've got to prioritize and get common goals, and then build up our cash again and let this thing start making some money.
Well, the number one priority needs to be the new RV spaces.
You know?
well, what about we've got RV spaces down here that aren't accommodating the visitors that we have? I mean, we've got to make sure our electrical and plumbing is definitely up to code,
Right.
you know, and that's got to be priority.
But those RV spaces are gonna have to be completely redone in the long run.
Well, we may have to only do 50,
Right.
you know, and try to do this in stages. I just think that we're trying to bite off more than we can chew
Well,
right off the
and,
bat.
and part of the thought process with those new RV spaces is that's just raw land.
Mhm.
And it's a lot easier to go in and put the electrical and the plumbing and get everything in and get it right and get it up to code, get to where it's supposed to be versus going down to the other end and start pulling up pipe and pulling up electrical and, you know, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because as small as those RV spaces are, by the time you're said and done, I mean, you're gonna have to completely, I mean, that, you know, that's gonna be a major, major job.
Sure is.
And we've got, and I think we've got to start keeping in contact with the preservation board, because what I understand on the cabins, nobody's been consulted with the preservation board on replacing the windows, what style, what type, making accommodate.
Well, I wasn't aware there were gonna be any windows replaced until they tore the windows out of that one cabin.
So who's researching the state?
I'll put a call into the historical commission.
You are?
Billy, are you, again, this is not meant to be offensive at all, but are you kind of the only, are you the lone ranger in this thing? Or are you kind
No,
of,
no, I'm not.
who is
Well, Ron
with you?
Bruce and Moose are overseeing the construction.
I mean, do we need to have a committee of maybe citizens or maybe one of our board members here? Or, I mean, do we need to have a committee that kind of runs with this thing and
I think
pushes
that's
this thing?
I think that's what the city council is gonna do.
Put a
I mean, that's what
committee
we-
together?
That's what we've done to date. We went before the city council back in December, January, and laid out the steps that we want to pursue, like refurbishing the cabins and the skating rink and the office and that sort of thing. And they gave their blessing to all that. And so that's what's being done.
Okay.
And so this right here is the next phase. And that's, we've got to dot the i's and cross the t's, check with the historical aspect of it and check with, what the cost is gonna be.
I think for me personally, I'd love to see more of a prioritization type listing.
Well, that's pretty much what we've got. I mean, the priority was the refurbishing of the cabins, getting this plan done, redoing the skating rink, and then the next thing after that we discussed was the new RV spaces.
Where do we stand on the skating rink?
I don't know how much more they like them, and they're still working on it. And that's part of the problem. I mean, everything we've gone into is gonna take a week, it takes 3 weeks, or it takes 4 weeks.
I kind of agree with you. I think we need to prioritize. We can't keep talking about it and saying, let's do this, let's do that. We need to set a goal reasonably soon. We have spent a lot of money on the park, purchasing it, and even what we have done so far. And I think we've done it well. but we need to set some priorities, like you said, and say, okay, our next project is the RV spots, or the parking lot, or whatever it is, and continue. If we keep having meetings and like that, we're gonna find us sitting here next year at this time, still discussing what needs to be done.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem in, how do I say this tactfully?
And just
Don't, just say it.
I mean, it's almost like there's too many people involved.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, you know, we had the hearings with the 4B, we had the hearings with the comprehensive plan, it went through the process of getting approved with the 4B, it went through the process of getting approved by the city council. The city council put together a committee, which was me and Mitchell George, and Mike Shaw, and Bob Miller, and Jimmy Pierce, and we all sat down and we said, okay, and we prioritized. You know, we sat down and said, you know, this is what we want, this is what we need, and then that's what we gave the park planner. And now then, all of a sudden, we're back. Is it the city council's decision to make, the 4B's decision to make, or we're gonna get a committee of people together? And it's gonna get real frustrating for us, because we're trying to get it done. But it's like, start, stop, start, stop. I just think the city needs to say, somebody's in charge and do it.